Hey guys, Dr. Nick here, and I'm coming at you live from inside our infrared sauna. And I may have just found the location where the coronavirus cannot find me. And I don't mean to keep bringing this up, or I guess this is only the second time I brought it up, but there's just so much hysteria going on, and it's really saddens me to think that people believe everything that they're being told on TV. And I don't even want you guys to believe everything that I tell you, because I want you to think for yourself and do your own research and find out what works for you, because everything that we do isn't necessarily everything that you need to do for your own health and healing. So you need to find your own way. And I think we all can do a lot better job of starting to just listen to the intelligence of nature and what nature has provided for us. And that's, my job as a naturopathic doctor is to remind people how to get back in touch with nature. The first step one, if you want to build a real body, you got to eat real food. It's that simple. You can't expect to have a strong immune system if you're eating garbage, if you're eating bad food, processed food, stuff that doesn't protect your cell membranes, that doesn't give you cellular energy, that doesn't, or that keeps you in a state of inflammation. I mean, it's just not going to work. And, when there's this mass hysteria, what if we chose to be a different version of ourselves? What if we chose to not ride the wave of insanity and calamity and commotion? What if we welcomed in the commotion, like I say, come motion, welcome that in, and then use it to change the trajectory of how we're living our lives? What if we welcome that commotion in and decide a different angle to take in order to build and strengthen our immune system? And that's why I'm sitting here in infrared sauna, because that's what infrared saunas do. I shared the Finnish study, which showed that men who use the sauna 4 to 7 times per week had much better results than those just using the sauna once a week to reduce all-cause mortality. I mean, it's a significant change in someone's health outcomes by using a sauna regularly. And what's happening in the sauna? Well, you're getting a massive, hormetic stress on the body, which is triggering adaptation. It's triggering a change. That's what fasting does. When we fast, we trigger a stress and then adaptation. The strength is in the adaptation. When we're teaching yoga, you go through all the poses, the postures, the sets, you're doing breath of fire, you're doing all sorts of different rhythmic breath patterns, and it's a stress on your body. And then what comes at the end is shavasana, as you relax. So we need to build in adaptation into our strategy for immune function. And it turns out that doing a sauna has this effect of releasing this protein called heat shock protein, which is released in response to a stimulus. In this case, the stimulus is heat. And this heat shock protein has really profound effect on the body, and that it has a very powerful immune function. So it's actually strengthening your immune system's ability to respond to the environment. So you're making your body more resilient by exposing yourself to extreme temperatures. And this is why after this, I'm going to jump into a cold shower to get the contrast experience of another hormetic stress to upregulate an immune response. In yoga, they call it Ishnan, this practice of waking up in the morning and taking a cold shower to meet your day with that sense of resiliency. And it has all this powerful effect of changing your immune system's response, and it strengthens you, builds your hormone function, builds brown fat, which makes you a more efficient fat metabolizer. Many different benefits. But let's get back to heat shock protein, because what this does is it actually tells your DNA how to fold properly, or the proteins that surround the DNA. And so when DNA is folded properly, you're getting proper communication to the rest of the cell. So the cell doesn't have to be stuck in a state of inflammation. It can actually respond according to the environment that serves your cellular health best. Instead of the mass hysteria where we're constantly stressed out by our external environment, we feel like we've got no control over our health. We're stuck in this state of fight or flight, in a sympathetic dominant state, and we've lost ourselves. We're so much more strong than we give ourselves credit for, and we just have to apply a little stress, right? This is why exercise is so powerful. You apply a stress, you recover, you break down muscle, and you build it back up. Your bone is constantly doing this, but we're encouraging that to happen more aggressively in bone when we're lifting heavy things, because it's encouraging those osteoblasts and osteoclasts to actually break down and build up. So what kind of hormetic stressors are you applying to your body? Are you staying safe? Are you staying indoors? Are you avoiding, public transport? Are you avoiding everything that you can to avoid this virus? Or do you choose to make your body stronger, right? We know that the war on drugs, the war on terror, the war on viruses, the war on microbes and stuff like that, it just doesn't work. That game has been played, and it's time to play a different game. It's time to step up and raise the level of vitality in our body. And that's everything. These are all the reasons why we created the Longevity Lab. We want to create optimal cellular environments so your cells could communicate properly to the surrounding cells and communicate to your organ systems, your adrenal, your thyroid, your brain, your lungs, your digestive system, your heart. And so when you apply these known stressors, the body can have a really positive relaxation phase or recovery phase. And that's what we're working towards. So each heat shock proteins help with DNA folding. They help with immune function in general. They help to communicate proper hormone signaling. Consider them as like the messengers for sending health around the entire body. And when you're exposing your entire body to these infrared waves and just the heat process, which is how we experience far infrared heat, we're getting this stimulus of sweat. We're getting the stimulus of increased cellular activity. Guess what? How else do we do this? Well, when we get sick, we get a fever. Are fevers bad? No, our fevers are a natural mechanism to raise the body temperature to kill viruses, bacteria, parasites, microbes, and things like that. That's your innate immune system taking over. Okay, so what can you do to take care of yourself? Hot, cold showers. Maybe more cold. Focus on the cold and then find other ways to warm yourself up. Maybe even ginger teas and things like that. So if you can get access to a sauna, my goodness, that's a powerful way to use that contrast hydrotherapy in a really, beneficial kind of way. And you get all these downstream effects of optimizing your DNA expression and epigenetic factors that build, rebuild, and strengthen your immune system. So that's it for now. I'm about to, I got 5 more minutes in here. And one last thing I want to leave you on is something that we learned when we were in Baja doing the sweat lodge. There's something powerful about being in a sweat lodge, and that's intention and ceremony. So how can we be more intentional with the different things that we're doing for ourselves daily? Like, what if we prayed over our food? What if we blessed the water before we drank it? What if we blessed ourselves in ceremony before we got in a sauna or even a shower, or just had gratitude when the sun rises in the morning? And we start to create an intention around the things that we're doing. We're going to bring that emotional aspect into who we are, the spiritual aspect into who we are, which creates a level of devotion and an expression of something within that gives us that steadiness and sturdiness despite the chaos that may be going on around us. So how can you be more intentional in your day, whether it's through your food, through your movement, through your exercise, through your communication with loved ones and others? I think we can all do a better job. And, find some hormetic stresses that you can play with to start off. Maybe it's a cold shower. Maybe it's a sauna. Maybe it's high intensity interval training. Maybe it's some breath work. Maybe it's some fasting. Maybe it's massively just doing a total overhaul on your diet. And maybe it's just cutting out sugar to start off with. But we've got so many immune building tools at our fingertips. And obviously today was all about saunas and that heat shock protein and the effect of heat contrast and temperature contrast on the body and what you can do to take hold of your health. So remember, if you want to biohack your biology, upgrade your cells, free your mind, come check us out at the Longevity Lab. We have March 15th is the deadline for the 2-for-1, so take advantage if you can. All the best to you guys.